Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. I am just going to make myself a homemade motorcycle jack lift. And the first thing you want to start with are three 2x8s. Two of them are 32 inches in length, and the third is 28 inches in length. And the reason that I did that was because the planks that they sell them in at the hardware store are 8 feet, and so that just kind of works out at the most that you can get out of the plank and not waste any wood and still have enough to get beyond any saddlebags that you might have. So as you can see, what I'm doing right here is I'm adding some wood glue. First I am gluing the bottom 32-inch plank to the middle plank, which is the 28-inch. And as you can see, I'm going to flip it over here for no reason. But the reason that the middle one is 28 inches is because you want to use the length in between the two by eights that are 32 inches in order to fit the 2x4, which is going to eventually end up being your handle that's going to jack your motorcycle up. Um, so here, the reason that I originally did that was because you would think that a 2x8 would actually be 2 inches thick, but it's not. It's actually 1.5. And so I bought a 4-inch long nail, which would end up going through these two boards by an extra inch. So I had to put them all together first before I could start nailing them. And unfortunately, my camera cut out there, so you didn't see me nailing in those boards together. And I apologize for that. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing off camera here, but it seems to take me a while to get back to the construction process. And yeah, so you can see I've got 3 or 4 nails in that side, but the other side has much more nails. And like I said, because they're 4 inches, they're actually going through all 3 pieces of wood, so I didn't feel the need to go overboard on this side with all the extra nails. Um, but the more the merrier, just as long as you don't get so many in one row where it may want to split the wood along the grain. So keep that in mind when you're nailing these these pieces of wood together. Now it looks like I'm back on track here. I think I'm gonna actually nail a couple more pieces in here and finish off this side. But like I said, the other side has far more nails on it. And you definitely want to get a couple nails close to that edge there. You can see towards the edge where there's the gap there, the pieces of wood have a little gap in between them. So definitely get a couple pieces of a couple nails in that area as well. All right, camera cut out again, but now we have the finished nailed product, and now we're going to attach the handle here. And so I'm going to be gluing in this piece. And again, the pieces of wood are not perfect, so there were definitely some gaps in between the 2x8s and the 2x4 I'm about to put in there as the handle. So you want to make sure you get a lot of glue in there and you nail it down really well. You don't necessarily need to have this part of the lift attached to it. You could have them as two separate pieces, but it's just a lot more secure and it feels a lot safer when it's all one piece. It just isn't as easy to store as it would be if it were two pieces that you could break down easier. And you can probably fast forward through this part here, but in case you need instruction on how to hammer nail into 3 pieces of board, there it is. and simply flip it over. Do the same thing on the other side. Try to remember where you hammer those original nails into, so you're not getting the ones on the opposite side so close to them that it takes the risk of splitting the board. That's why you can see that I'm nailing this one pretty far to the outside of the board, whereas the other three on the opposite side were fairly centered. This one also I'm getting pretty close to the edge of the board. Especially in this area, because this is, if any place in the lift where this is going to, where it's going to break or crack, it's probably going to be where this handle is. So you don't want to give it any extra help in doing that. And so the final piece is to simply put the lift under your bike. Get it in a nice spot where it's not going to hit anything important. Tilt your bike towards you, grab it by the handle, bring it up towards you, straighten the front tire, just pull up, and there you go. Pretty secure. Shake it around a bit, make sure it's not going to fall over. That was really sturdy. It was a lot more sturdy than I thought it was going to be. And as you can see, you got plenty of space to rotate your tire around. And that's pretty much it. Pretty simple. Saves you about $100. I bought all this at Home Depot for about $11.50. I think just under $12. Piece of cake. Good luck.